Oh, and we are live. Welcome back, horror fans. It is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that means it's time for another episode of the Week in Horror podcast, the only podcast that cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit. Thank you for joining our live show, and for all of our podcast listeners, be sure to check us out so you too can interact directly with the show. This week, we are covering selected films released in horror history June 20th through June 26th. Thank you all so much for joining us. I am JL, and with me tonight are Eugene and Johnny O.
Hello.
Did Eugene say hi?
What's up, everybody?
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah?
I think we're all still a little traumatized from the green room experience.
Stop it. Why?
I didn't say anything. Just said we were traumatized from the green room experience.
Fucking dick, man. You know, it could have just stayed. It could have just stayed between us, but no. Yeah,
they have no idea what we're talking about. They don't know what we're talking about.
You're alluding to shit going down. Why do you?
That's right. It could have stayed,
but it wasn't gonna.
All right. Well,
look, hang on a second. I expect each and every one of you to do the exact same thing to me.
But you'll never do what I accidentally.
That's only fair.
Right.
True.
I mean,
yeah. What are you gonna do? Oh man. So, welcome back, everybody, to another episode. It is so glad to be back. Thank you for excusing my week off last week. As you can see, I was moving. I am in a new room. This is the new studio that is slowly being put back together. You can see I have the painter's tape up on the wall as to where I will be painting once I redo this thing. But let's take a look at who was in the live chat. Tony Regime was first. Good to see you, Tony. Thank you for joining us. Surf, one of our amazing patrons, says Tony. It was in there. It says Tony cheated by getting here before me. Obviously, he did. It's the only way he could possibly beat you, Surf. Basic Trigonometry, sexiest name on the internet, was Turd. And Christopher Music Channel says, at Week in Horror, my guest for tonight's trivia question is Lillian Gish. This is going to be the week.
How do you do it? How do you do it every week?
I don't know how
he gets it before we even. This time it's before we even broadcast, before we even started. We're getting traumatized in the green room, and fucking Chris Durham's like, "Hey, I got the trivia question."
I want to say. All right, I want to say Lillian Gish is one of my favorite silent film actresses. Like, she is gorgeous, by the way. Super awesome. So yeah, I love Lillian Gish. Thumbs up.
She was. I think she's no longer with us now.
Well, God, that's
she lived 100 years ago. So yeah, she's been dead for a little while.
So Clifford Reynolds is in the house. Clifford, good to see you. And Grave Paradise, good to see you. One of our big Discord fans who's with us for a lot of our watch parties. Grave Paradise, good to see you. Dr. Lord Stinky Butt the Butler is in the house. Says hello, Dr. Lord Stinky Butt the Butler. Appreciate you being here. Man Devil's in the house. Good to see you. And who else?
Yes.
I'll say Ivy Gentry's in the house. Good to see you, Ivy. And a Marvel girl. And Man Devil, why is JL in a human room? Yes, I am in a human room, but soon it will not be a human room. It will be a Week in Horror room. Yep. Hopefully, very soon, because I'm moving as fast as I can. But I'm also playing with the angles because the layout. The layout of the room is a little bit different than my last one, so I'm going to try and play with the angles and make sure that everything is visible. So it's going to take a little bit of work, but I think I can get there. I got windows where I didn't have windows before, which is strange.
Knock out a wall or two.
I know, right? It's odd, but we will get there. I will make it amazing again. Let's see.
Yeah,
with your red hat.
Dr. Lord Stinky Butt the Butler says it's not human at Mandeville. His ghost friends make very good illusions. DeLong Hair, welcome to it says my first Week in Horror live stream. It is so good to see you.
Awesome.
And
you made a good one. You made it a good one to be at, by the way.
This is an excellent one.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alex is in the chat. Thank you, Alex. Alex right now is literally, and I mean, I'm not shitting you, literally on the verge of having a baby. His wife is like literally about to pop out a kid.
I'm so glad you changed that. You changed that.
I realized that my phrasing was going to be off.
Alex is about to have a baby.
Alex says, "Hey guys, getting the last things together for the hospital tomorrow. Have an awesome show." Thank you, Alex. We knew you're gonna be hanging out in the live chat, so it's awesome to have you here because we got huge fucking news that we want to share. Marvel Girl, good to see you, and I think we're good. See, Mando says, "Is Eugene filming from the year Salem's Lot came out in tribute?" From Mando.
Yes, it does look like a late 70s, early 80s vibe you got going on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look on your face.
That's fucking amazing. That is amazing.
I'm not even gonna argue that. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, so tonight is the Dr. Lord says, "I left my ass off. Alex Peterson is pregnant. I feel those kicks. I feel those kicks. He's going to be a soccer player, most likely." So tonight was a big announcement night. Was a huge announcement night. We are finally here, and we have big news to share with everybody. I'm a little bummed that we don't have more of our patrons. Patrons in the chat, because this all pretty much goes out to them.
Alex really should hop on just for this part, because this is big. Alex, take a break from packing shit, hop on for just a few minutes. This is a big one.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to send out a message. Yeah, because I can do that. I can actually send out a direct message to all of our patrons, like, immediately.
Yeah.
For this big announcement, I'm one of those guys who actually, vocalizes, talks while I'm typing. Dictates what I'm typing as I'm typing it. So, okay. So hopefully we'll have some people popping in. This is actually a little bit of, and I'll preface this. This is a little bit of a story. So I hope people are willing to hang out for a little bit of story time, because this was a big, huge thing. Surf says stream dies. So hopefully not. So when we put together the show, it needs
a cut out, and then we're like, that was the big announcement. Yay.
It was done.
It's
so
over.
Awesome.
It's all over.
We could never play it again.
Sorry guys, there are no more horror movies to talk about. My life is all that's left.
That's all I've got.
So when we started Week in Horror almost 2 years ago, because this is actually episode 91 that we are currently filming. Johnny and Eugene knocked out episode 90 last week in my absence, and you guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much for that. But when we first started this show almost 2 years ago, we really thought it was just going to be a hobby, something to kill time, because we had nothing better to do. It was like, why not do a podcast? Why not? My friends were all like, just, go do a podcast. You like fucking hearing yourself talk, go talk on a podcast. I was like, sure. So I'll talk about horror movies, because if Kevin Smith can talk about comics and get high on his podcast, why can't I talk about horror movies? And I don't get high, but why can't I do it and make it and have a show myself? So I was like, you know what? I caused this to happen. So I called up Eugene, I called up Alex. It was like, hey guys, you want to do this with me? They were like, sure. And we all thought, the last couple of weeks, it'll be a little hobby and we'll get bored, whatever. As you can see, that it was not the case. So almost 2 years later, almost 2 seasons in the bag, I think we're up on our 19th Bloodbath debate. I think 17 special guests on the show. Johnny O added to the cast. It's been, and of course, our patrons, who are absolutely amazing, have helped to build the show into something quite grand. Now, our big goal, like one of our big goals, as a part of this show, was to eventually get enough support that we could start filming our own content. That was always from the beginning, that maybe this could open some doors for us and we could actually, get the opportunity to do what we do, and that is be filmmakers. And it did eventually happen, because one of the amazing special guests that we had on, Lloyd Cryer, was on the show. He was he's the founder of Texas Frightmare Weekend, and it was weird. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that was one of those happy little accidents, right?
It was. It was.
We had no idea.
It was a happy accident. When I put that episode, because I put the episode together almost a week in advance, so that's when I'm assembling everything. And so I try to.
Well, you've got like a month. You got like a month of movies. Like, you go pick out all your movies a month before for the following month, so you've got a schedule going. So it's not like anything was changed. This was all already.
Yeah, it was already
everything was
set in
already
stone.
scheduled, right? You
No,
just
I'd
hadn't written
already-
the actual episodes, but you had the movie schedule. That's in the Discord. So, like I
So
said,
we
this is one of
had-
those cool things.
We had everything. I knew what movies we were going to talk about, and we solidified. They were set for that week, and then we got Lloyd Cryer. Lloyd Cryer wanted to be on the show, so it was like great. And one of the movies we were going to talk about that day was Gun Massacre, and it was a weird coincidence because Lloyd owns the rights to Gun Massacre. As a fact, he produced the original movie. We didn't intend for that to happen. That was an absolute coincidence, and both of our minds were blown because he was kind of like, "Hey, you realize I own this movie, right? Like I have the rights to it. It's mine." I was like, "No, we didn't know." So it was a great episode. Lloyd was an incredible guest to have on the show, just a wealth of knowledge and just knowledge of the history of the genre. And I don't think I've met a bigger lover of this genre than Lloyd Cryer. I mean, the dude made Texas Frightmare Weekend, the biggest horror convention in the Southwest, probably in the U.S. That's been going on almost 20 years. So Lloyd is the man. Anyway, we're sitting there chatting. We do the After Dark session, which is our special thing that we release for our patrons. And then afterwards, we're just chatting. And Lloyd told us he really, really wanted to get into production. He wanted to get back into it because he's been doing Texas Frightmare Weekend, but he's gotten to the point where it pretty much runs itself. He's just got to be there to cross the T's and dot the I's. It's really not that hard. He's got a huge staff. All is good. He really wanted to produce again. And I was kind of like, well, what do you want to produce? He's like, he'd really like to see a remake of the Gun Massacre because of his, to kind of honor the memory of the guy who directed it, Terry Lofton, who passed away. It was his movie. And just kind of like honor his memory and just kind of reboot it, just kind of revitalize it. He thinks it would be really cool. But he really didn't know where to kick things off. He was kind of like, what do I do? And not to mention the pandemic situation that was going on did not make things very easy. So what happened is I'm sitting there, Eugene is there with me, and I'm like, whoa, hang on a sec. So Lloyd, you own the rights. Eugene's an award-winning director. I'm an award-winning writer. What do we do?
And I know how to mop some floors.
So we were like, and he was like, sure, do it. He was like, and Lloyd was just like, you have my blessing, go and do it. So it's like, great, I will churn out a feature script and put this thing together. And if you like it, we'll run with it and we'll make it happen. And he was like, sure, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. So we started working. And the next thing I know, I'm about halfway through the feature, trying to make sure that I'm hitting all my notes correctly because there's a lot of pressure on this one, paying homage to Terry's vision, updating it for the new for the new generation. I want to make sure Lloyd's happy with it. We do all the right things, and so I'm turning my way through it. And then all of a sudden, Eugene calls me, and I'll let Eugene tell this part of it.
So, I actually entered into a competition that's called Rack Focus, and so the competition is filmmakers make a 10-minute film, and for the top 3 films get a pitch session in LA. You go to a studio and you get to talk to a studio on it. So I just entered this competition. It's like, hey, let me see where it goes. So I entered it in. I called JL and I was like, I know you've been working on this feature. Can you churn out a 10-page script for it? And yes, so JL's like, okay. He's like, yes. Yes.
He's like, yes, I absolutely can.
Hey, we got Alex. Yes. We got Alex in the.
Oh,
yeah.
There he is. Okay, let's bring Alex and we'll add him to the stream real quick. There's the man.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I didn't want you to not be a part of this one.
Yes, we want you to be a part of this because you helped to make this happen, dude. So go ahead, Eugene.
I got a couple of minutes.
Okay, he has a couple minutes. So we'll make it fast. So JL turns out a 10-page script, sends it over to me. I like it, sends it over to Lloyd. Lloyd likes it and is like, fucking go for it. So we filmed it. It is done. It is complete. It is turned in. And we have a surprise for everybody where we're going to showcase an actual clip from the film.
So here it is.
I hope you enjoy it.
Here it is to everyone in the chat. I know there's not a lot of you. And I know, but there's some patrons that we don't have available. But if it was every single one of you in this live chat, all of our patrons, everybody who has done anything to help support this show, whether you got a t-shirt, whether you're a patron, whether you just liked and shared and commented, every single one of you made this happen. And here's a clip from the proof of concept for the remake of Nail Gun Massacre.
Stream dies.
No,
don't put that evil on me. I got to pull it up. Yeah, it was because there we go. And
go full screen. There, no, full screen.
That'll work.
I'm going full screen. Hang on a sec. So we're going full screen, and I hope you guys do enjoy this. Give me 1 second. There it is.
What do you want, man? Who the fuck is that? Oh, what the fuck? I don't fucking know her! You fucking psycho! Whoa, man! Whoa! Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that is a quick clip. That is a clip from the 10-minute proof of concept that we did for the Nail Gun Massacre remake. This actually, and so we'll actually be releasing. This will appear at the Rack Focus Film Festival. We're going to be there for the screening whenever they get that set up. So it's going to be amazing. So hopefully, we never know what will happen for this. Now, the awesome thing about this is that the feature film that we are planning, that I am currently working on for the Nail Gun Massacre remake, that is happening. The Rack Focus opportunity could open up a few more doors. A few more doors for financial opportunities to maybe even increase the budget a bit. And who knows what could happen with that. You never want to pass up an opportunity. But yeah, there it is. And we have every single one of our patrons, every single one of the people in the live chat, all of you to thank for helping us make this production. Eugene directed it. I wrote it. Johnny actually stars in it, has a role in the film. So, and we couldn't possibly
the best role ever.
So yeah, that's thanks to everybody in there. I see we had some more people jump in there. We got who popped in? I see there, Mr. Malort popped in. Good to see you, Mr. Malort. Let's see, Gavlar, the Hand of Jazad. God, it's a fucking awesome name. Gavlar, the Hand of Zod is in the house. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. NA is in the house. Good to see you. I saw PhD Tony who said, so did I miss anything? Hopefully not. Hopefully you did see that. You did see that clip. But I'll tell you what, we will show it again at the end of the show for anybody who didn't see it. So we just wanted to express our enormous gratitude to each and every one of you for helping us make that happen. You guys helped us achieve one of our big giant goals, and that was to produce new content, actual film content. And every one of you guys will be getting a giant thank you in the credits for the production when it gets done. So it wouldn't have happened without all of you.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but that was Art Sue from Crank 2. He was I think he was one of the main bad guys in Crank 2.
Yeah, he was actually the main bad guy. He was the main head guy, and he actually has a fight scene with Jason Statham, like a one-on-one fight scene with him on it, and he has an epic death in Crank 2.
That's so fucking cool.
Yes, art was super cool. I got to, and I swung by the production when they were closer to my house back in Dallas, or back in back in North Dallas, and I just popped by the production, got to meet all the guys, and it was the scene that Johnny was in because Johnny was out there, and the location we're filming at was super freaking cool. It was out in the, almost you felt like in the middle of nowhere.
Same place they filmed Walker, Texas Ranger.
They did?
Yes. One of the locations. Yeah. One of the locations, yeah.
Well, they filmed pretty much everywhere in Dallas.
Well,
yeah. So we were over at my house. We were over at my house. Yeah, where they filmed Walker. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. they threw that one guy through the window here. Yeah.
So, but yes, that we're so glad that we got to show that to you guys. We will show the clip again at the end of the show for those who didn't happen to see it. But yeah, we wanted to. That was our big announcement. You guys helped us make a fucking movie, and it's happening because of y'all. And we have even more big announcements coming regarding this project. I'm not going to announce them just yet, but we have more stuff coming along as we move forward in the production of our feature film, of the feature remake of Gun Massacre. We will have big announcements to come along with that, especially for our patrons. I cannot wait to share them with you. It's going to be a fucking blast. But here we are, 4 humble filmmakers who made a fucking movie because you guys believed in us. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Absolutely.
Seriously. It's so cool to be able to share this stuff with these people, because it's like, you guys, the only reason that we're here is because you guys showed up every week. We wouldn't have been doing this otherwise. And so through JL's reservations of going, on YouTube and live and everything, he's always nervous about stuff, and we're like, just fucking do it. And then he does, and then he gets these final results. It's fantastic. It's so cool. I'm so happy for everybody involved in this. This is great. And when you dropped this thing, when I saw this, it was like, fuck, man, they did it. They did it. This was they put this in the fucking can. The one thing that we're always giving people congratulations for doing.
That's one of the most difficult things to do as a filmmaker, is to get something canned. And Eugene did an amazing job. I got to say, in my limited acting experience working with different directors, probably one of the easiest to work with.
Probably
doesn't mince words, but doesn't he's not a dickhead.
No, I'm not James Cameron.
I'll tell you this. I was on set to watch his scene. Johnny cuts an intimidating figure. I'll give him that, man. He does.
I can be mean when I need to be mean.
Chris Durham Music Channel says that was quite a clip. You guys nailed it. Was it like, I guess he nailed it. Wow.
And then get 360.
All right. So, once again, one big final thank you to you guys. We really, really, really do appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you. But as we like to say around here, holy shit, we're here to talk about horror movies, right?
And not the ones that we make.
Not the ones that we make, the ones other people make.
I gotta go get some shit put in a baby bag and
yes.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yes. Alex is on his way to the hospital.
Yep.
To
Alex is gonna have another kid.
I'm going to spawn another child. I'm gonna have another kid. I know it sucks, man. I'm gonna get an epidural for sure.
You're gonna get an epidural?
I have heard that you never want to get within what's your wife's reach? You don't. That's the
5'2", so like
that's the range that you don't want to get into when she's having the kid. You can be outside that range and be perfectly supportive, and it's acceptable. You get within that range, it's like the first 3 rows of SeaWorld, man.
No, there's a splash guard. There's a splash guard. As long as you're on that side of the splash guard, you're good.
No, but we're just wrapping up everything. We got our bag in the car. We've got everything from, anything you could think of, clothes, toothbrushes to trail mix and shit ready to go.
Nice.
We got our birth plan worked out. We're set and ready
Awesome.
And so we'll be going
Holy
in tomorrow
shit, man.
evening, and then they're going to do the induction, and they're thinking probably Friday morning, and we'll be back around Saturday or Sunday. So.
Can you believe, dude? Let's reflect on this for a moment. This is the first. This is the first child born under in Week in Horror.
Yeah,
like Week in Horror of this entire production. Like we've been going long enough that children are being born.
Yeah,
and that's fucking just amazing to me.
Since we've started this, I think when we started it, I'd just gotten divorced, or I'd been divorced for a little bit, and then I've found somebody that I lost back in high school. We dated each other back in like freshman year. We separated and we came back together, and we decided that we made a mistake separating in the first place. I've gotten married, and now we're about to have a child.
That's incredible.
All since we've been doing this, so it's insane.
Definitely. Oh yes, Man Devil says production babies in the Nail Gun credits for sure. So absolutely. So yes, we have our first production baby, which is pretty badass. So congratulations, Alex, on becoming a father again. I hope it's amazing. I hope it goes swimmingly without any complications or anything. So all the best.
No more swimming, Alex.
All the best to you and the new mom. So I wish her, we wish her all the best. So speedy recovery for her, and we'll get you back on the show as soon as you're able.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Definitely. Pictures. So we can share them with the audience.
Yep. Exactly. We gotta have pictures.
Especially before you clean them off, so it kind of meets with the theme of the show.
Oh yeah, it's all gooey. All gooey. You look like covered in Crisco.
Looks like a wet basset hound coming into the cat door.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny.
Vivid imagination.
All right.
Well, hey, Alex, take care.
Take it easy, bud.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Alex.
All right. So before we jump into this, let me see it real quick. Chris Herb says that was quite a clip. You guys nailed it. Surf has a real problem with cilantro. Apparently, some people think it tastes like soap. But coriander is good. Mr. Lord says, what kind of nail gun was used?
That is an interesting question. We found an old rickety one. I cannot tell you the make or model, but my production designer found it on sale for like $40.
Nice. That's sweet. Let's see. Mandeville says tagline for the poster right there. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but it might have been you guys nailed it. Johnny O is and Annie says Johnny O is demand. Yes, Johnny O is demand. PhD Tony says it's only natural Johnny would excel in this role. He is well accustomed to working with tools. Ivy says, why can't we see the whole thing? Damn it! Why can't we see the whole thing? You will see the whole thing eventually. Eventually, Nail Gun Massacre, this proof of concept will be up on the YouTube channel. You will see it there, but we got to go through the process of having it at the Rack Focus Film Festival and go through all of the rigmarole of that and see where that ends up. But it will eventually be on the YouTube channel, the whole thing, most likely because Eugene has also assured me that there is a director's cut, because part of the Rack Focus thing was we had to cut it down to 10 minutes. So it was only 10 minutes long, but there is additional footage, and that additional footage will be restored to the original, and we will have a director's cut, which will also be up on the YouTube channel. So you will get the whole thing as soon as we can put it up.
Yes, as soon as God intended. Yes.
Yep. So Dragon DeLong here says, Mr. Malord, a framing gun. I didn't see the make. There's a framing gun. Okay. And Mandel says, will there be a clip from the birth later? We can only hope so. Tony Regime says, as a father of three who attended the birth of all three, I could say that it isn't a spectator event. I wouldn't know. I'm assuming it's not.
I'm sorry I went in there. I
should have gone in there. Ivy says, I'm thinking a live birth would make an awesome scene in a horror movie. I think they did that in Hills Have Eyes 2, which was really fucking gross. It was really disgusting. So, let's see. Oh, Sean 137 is in the house. A painful one. Painful nail gun. Yes, it was a painful nail gun. Angel Gamer's in the house. Good to see you. Excellent. And I think that we are good to go. So, as we like to say, Eugene, what the fuck do we have up first, man? What are we talking about?
All right.
Let's fucking do it.
So moving on from nail guns. And stream dies.
And the stream is dead.
So moving from nail guns to After You're Dead, the Hearse.
The
Hearse. Released
Why would you
June
know?
20th. Hearse out of nowhere. Released June 20th, 1980. It was directed by George Bowers, and it stars Trish Van DeVere, thank you. Joseph Cotton, Dave something French, and Donald Hutton.
Dave Gautreaux,
and Donald Hutton. And basically, what ends up happening is you have a woman who inherited a house, but all of a sudden, strange supernatural stuff kind of starts happening, from which the aunt that she inherited the house from was involved in kind of some supernatural stuff, and shit gets real. And so, in essence, it's a weaker version of Hereditary.
It kind of is a bit. It kind of is. But I mean, there's one thing I really dug about this one. I mean, it was this is a 1980 film, so it's almost 41 years old. But even with that, it really, because this is 1980. 1980 is the beginning of pretty much the slasher. You know, it was pretty much around the beginning of the slasher genre. It was really starting to pick up speed. There were a lot of horror tropes that were running around, and everybody was clamoring. We talked about this earlier on a previous episode. Everybody was clamoring to try and get what was good. So like, let's do this. So that nobody was trying to copy everyone, because everybody wanted to be the first in something. These were problems that movies like Happy Birthday to Me ran into, and a number of others were kind of like, everybody else has already beaten us to the punch. That's why The Forest didn't do very well, because everybody had already gotten there before them. And but this one, it definitely took from the best. It really did.
Yeah, it did.
That was Johnny's.
Sorry, I've got work.
Oh yeah. No, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
No. I'm sorry. I've got work busting. I got work busting my balls right now. So
witness our professional production.
It is extremely professional. Okay. You know what? Screw you guys. I'm going home. No, go ahead, Eugene. I gotta fix a work. I have to fix a work problem.
So
this is your work. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Eugene. Go ahead.
So if you think about it, at the time where in 1980, this is the real kickoff of the low to mid budget horror films, because you had Halloween that came out in 78 that was super successful. Mm-hmm. You already had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, has already been out for a little while, because I think it came out in like 74. And this is where it's ramping up, because you got Friday the 13th that came out the same year. You had a Burning that came out the year afterwards. You have everybody's trying to get on this horror train, basically, and they're looking for any kind of idea. The slasher genre has already been invented at this point, but it's like, maybe we can tap into a little bit of supernatural into it. We're just going to see kind of whatever sticks on it. And it was a fun movie. It is. I love seeing a hearse explode.
It was, and I thought it was really good. I thought the performance, really what struck me, and you don't really get this a lot, especially in 80s horror, when the focus is not really so much. It's more on what you're trying to shock the audience with, and not really trying to make the best production you possibly can. I thought the performances from Trish and from Joseph Cotton from Trish Van Devere and Joseph Cotton were really good. And I thought the acting was really solid, just for what the story they were trying to tell. I thought her reactions were solid and very believable. I thought the production value was great. That old hearse they utilized was really fantastic. I love that chase scene at the end, because it had its moments, and you could tell that it took from the best of what was going on, because this was middle of 1980, and already, like you said before, we've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre out, we've got Halloween's out, we've got Friday the 13th, we got The Burning, we've got a number of Burning was in 81, sorry, my bad. But we have a number of horror films that came out from pretty much 74 all the way to 1980 that were really starting to push the envelope. And you can tell. And that was the one thing that kind of detracted a little bit from me, is because you can see as Bowers was working through this, he was like, this will work. Like he had a good knowledge of other horror films, and he would see these things and go, that works. That'll work so good in this movie. Or he'll remember like the way they shot a particular scene, or the way they used the camera, the way they lit a particular scene, or the way they captured the lighting on Trish's character. He pulled them all from other stuff. You could see very, very, very heavy inspiration from other pieces of work that came out beforehand. And that is good because, I mean, so one of the rules of thumb in this industry is you steal what works. You know, if something works and it looks good, use it, you know, but use it respectfully. There was just so much of it in this one. I didn't really feel like the director had an original, kind of an original thought as to how to do this movie. It's kind of like, well, I've got this movie. What do I do? I really don't know how to shoot this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go in this direction and I'm just going to use what works from everybody else. And of course, that's one way to do it, but I think it detracted a little bit.
And I agree, because you can sit there and go and use all these inspirations and pull from all these films. The problem is that you can have a well-made film, but it's forgettable. It gets lost in the shuffle because there's no part of it that stands out. When you look at the 1978 Halloween, what are some of the things that stand out? First of all, it was one of the very first films to use Steadicam. So when you have the shot going from the bedroom down the stairs outside of the house, that's stuff that people have never seen before.
Yeah.
It was very, very difficult. And so it's like okay. Oh, the camera's still going? Oh, it's going back down the stairs? Okay. Yes, a camera has gone down the stairs. Alfred Hitchcock has done it before also. It has been done, but it's not something that's done very often. And like I said, it was the first use of Steadicam, and they actually wanted to experiment on a lower budget film like Halloween, and it makes it work. That's why it's so memorable. But people always remember the original. You either remember the original or you remember the film that did it better. And unfortunately, this film is not original, and it didn't do it better.
Yeah,
so
that was a shame, and it's a good little film. There's definitely worse out there that came out during the same time period. The director knew what he was doing. You could see that there was a load of talent that was involved in this. It was a solid story. I liked the story, and we'll get into that a little bit more here in a sec. But I liked the story. I liked what William Bletch put on paper. I liked George Bowers' direction. This was legitimately, a solid movie. If unfortunately other people hadn't gotten there and done better first, this is what I think Bowers has a lot more talent than this, but he didn't showcase it here, unfortunately. So, but that's what we like to talk about, like to dissect these kinds of things. The movie is worth it. The movie is worth a look. It's one of those little ones that will get swept under the rug that people won't recommend, either because they haven't seen it, because nobody recommended it, or because you can see better versions of what they did in this in other movies. But it's definitely absolutely worth a watch. But the big thing that struck me, and this was so absolutely weird, while I was watching the movie, throughout the entire thing, I was like, this is fucking Hereditary. Like, this is Hereditary through the whole movie. Like there were certain shots, there was certain dialogue, little peppered little moments, little tiny little moments. But most importantly, it was the plot line of the film. And it was like, person comes home to discover, or person dies and then discovers big grand secret about the family, which happens to be like devil worshiping or some other form of this. And that's what I was like, holy shit, this is fucking Hereditary. And I was like, did Ari Aster watch the Hearse and realize I can do it, but I can do the story better? And he fucking did, because Hereditary is an amazing fucking film with some really serious shock horror in it. But that's what I got, and that one thing that was really, really cool, because the Hearse is you can see the inspirations that other people took from it today and the stuff that you watch now. The big films like that, they definitely pulled from this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because I think Ari Aster probably did see this movie. He probably did really enjoy it. And it's like, I can go, since this is a film that got kind of lost in the shuffle, I can borrow some stuff from this film that no one will probably say anything, because a lot of big directors like to pull from no-name films that actually really influence them, knowing that most people aren't going to recognize where it came from. Mm-hmm. And then he put his own twist and used some modern techniques and stuff like that on the way he did it. And that's, get Hereditary.
When you have better technology, you have better cameras, and you can just pull stuff off. You can make those when you're playing with your angles or playing with your lighting, and you can make them. Obviously, the technology is better. Lighting technology is better. You can play more with your shadows. Now, I will admit, in the Hearse, that natural grain that you have with that film stock is, I mean, I love it. I love that effect because maybe it's because I grew up with it and I'm biased towards it. It's what I was familiar with as a child. So I really, really dug that. But obviously you can make things a hell of a lot scarier when they're, like when they're clean and they're cut and highly defined. That's what Ari has to do with Hereditary. I don't know.
Sometimes that I can't really tell what's going on adds to the scariness of it.
Agreed. There was another one that took really good advantage of that was an early Karen Black film. God dang, we talked about it before. Burnt Shadows? No. Burnt Offerings. Offerings with Karen Black. That film almost had the exact same feel as this one because that was about a family that moved into a home that the house was alive and it was draining their life force from them. And Burnt Offerings was fantastic, had the exact same kind of feel to it. And I love that movie. And of course, that movie went on to inspire a lot of big films took inspiration from Burnt Offerings. Not to mention, not just the cinematography, but Karen Black's performance as well for their lead actresses. And then, of course, we see this here. So I like that we found a little, thank you, Glober Mom. Yes, Burnt Offerings. And apparently there's something going on in the side chat about Grease, about the film Grease. Grease 1 was good. Grease 2 sucked ass. I don't know but I digress. That's what I dug about this one is we found kind of like.
Damn it, I was muted.
Yeah, you were muted.
yeah.
But the Hearse, I think we definitely found one of the seeds that would lead to the kind of like the elevated horror that we have today with movies like Hereditary and Midsummer. Finding those little inspirations, what I thought that was the absolute coolest thing about the Hearse.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, and it's definitely a film that you check out. It's interesting. Like I said, it gets lost in the shuffle because just so much came out in the late 70s and early 80s when we talk about horror films. But yeah, definitely check it out.
Absolutely.
And so, but what I like to ask the audience.
Look, we were really excited about releasing this trailer for everybody. Okay, so don't judge us.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Some of us flubber our names. Some of us have work calls to go take care of. Some of us get called their pants down. Some of us have babies. Whatever. Okay, it happens.
This is true. This is life.
Life happens. I'm trying to do the CTA.
Sorry.
So this film being about, we talk about Satan worshiping. What is your favorite Satan worshiping horror film? There's a lot of them out there on there. Tell us, what is your favorite one? A lot of Satan worshiping stuff, especially during the video nasty era.
Definitely during the Satanic Panic.
The
Satanic Panic era of the late 70s going into the 80s and so almost to the 90s. There was a lot, the horror genre was like, oh, everybody's afraid of Satanists. Let's talk about that shit. So
I was going to say, does The Exorcist count? I don't think it does.
Because it wasn't Satan, it was Pazuzu. So
yeah, but but we knew that really Pazuzu was the devil. The devil.
Yeah. So like, here we go. Like
I mean, Pazuzu calls himself the devil. He says, "I'm the devil."
Anybody can call this the devil, but his name is Pazuzu. Like Mandel says, the ninth gate. Mr. Malort says the devil and Miss Jones. Gavlar says Gavlar Hand of Zod, Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That baby was fucked.
That baby was that
was fucked. I would my wife come home with that thing. I said, put it back in. It's not done yet.
All right.
Of the pants thing.
So definitely let us know. Definitely let us know in the comments below or hit us up at weekinhorror@gmail.com. What is your favorite Satan worshiping horror film?
All right, Johnny. What do we got next?
You guys give me the worst one.
I am so sorry, but you are in the Alex seat.
It's okay. Up next, 2004 miniseries. It's only 2 parts, so golly, it's so bad. This one, like, I know it came out this time, but God bless. Salem's Lot. If you didn't know they did a 2004 reboot of Salem's Lot, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, directed by Michael. Was that Salomon? Yeah, starring Rob Lowe, Andre Brower, Donald Sutherland, Samantha Harris, Rutger Hauer, James Cromwell. I know I'm saying all these really awesome names, and you would think that this movie would be really good, but it's not.
This is an amazing ensemble cast. It really was.
Yeah, it's a great
and then
cast.
he UA bowls it.
Oh, I think that would have been an improvement if you would have UA bowled it. Salem's Lot, Stephen King, witches, people, terrible movie, terrible remake. I'm sorry, guys. This one was just not good. I sat down to rewatch this one, is what I could rewatch, and I remembered why I never watched it to begin with. I found myself going back to the original because the original was just so good and creepy, and everything about it would just popped, and it was right.
Yeah.
And then this one here, it's like they took everything that was good with the original and just said, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to remake the movie, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that good stuff. We're going to have the same characters. We're the same kind of.
I think Gavin Handazad hit it best.
Yes.
His comment, this should never have happened.
Right, absolutely. Eugene and I talked about this last week, talking about remakes that, especially something like Salem's Lot. When you take a movie that's, that's iconic or that is hugely successful, or at least hugely popular, has a cult following, and you remake it, you can own your best outcome. The best outcome is to be as good as. You can never be better. And they just like they had the plane, they had all the they had the right pilots, they had the right crew, but that plane was just destined to fucking crash. I mean, it's just not good. It was terrible.
It was not. It was definitely one adaptation too many in that respect.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just the thing that got me the most. What was, I think, the biggest absolute misstep on this one was it was made for TNT. This was made for network television. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, when you're adapting Stephen King, you got to wonder who came up with the idea. Let's do this for Turner Network Television. Let's remake one of the most graphically violent Stephen King stories,
right?
About vampires taking over a town, and particularly nasty vampires taking over this town called the town of Jerusalem's Lawn.
Right.
Let's remake this, but remake it for network television so that there's none of the fucking gore that's supposed to be in it, none of the gross vampire stuff that's supposed to be in it. Everything is ultra fucking tame. This is literally PG-13.
Right. But you say that ABC, and I know I'm going to take a lot of flack for this one here. I know I'm about to take a lot of flack for this, and I fully understand what's about to happen. So everybody who's about to give me flack, shove it up your ass. ABC, when they redid The Shining. Now, granted, it wasn't Stanley Kubrick's The Shining was a masterpiece. And again, this is another example of you can only be as good as. But when they redid The Shining, they didn't completely shy away from what made The Shining good, right? Great. So if you look at the lady in room 234, at it was made for television. It was kind of cheesy-ish. Mm-hmm. But they still went for the big scares. They still went for those things. That fucking lady in the 234, that shit was fucking scary. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Much more so than the one in the original Shining. The original Shining was kind of like creepy. It's like, oh, it's this really pretty woman. All of a sudden, she turns gross. That's kind of gross. But the woman that attacks Danny Torrance in the remake was fucking terrifying. The makeup was amazing. Yeah. So when people say, "Well, it was made for TNT," it's like, no, they just didn't care. They didn't really take time to make it a good movie. They just missed everything they could have done well. They just didn't. It just seemed like a paycheck.
And see, I agree with you because if you look at the TV adaptation of It, on it, that was made for television, made for network television, and it still had great moments. I mean, Tim Curry, awesome. They just made Pennywise. So you can do something scary for network television, but with this one, it's just they didn't care.
Yeah, there's no passion.
Yeah, let's just slap a bunch of big names in and people watch it because they know who these actors are, and then the actors phoned it in.
Yeah, dude, that was especially bad. I remember there's Rob Lowe released in his memoir, Love Life, that he was talking about being on the set of this film, and Rutger Hauer is who played Barlow in it. Now, obviously, a big difference between Barlow and the original Salem's Lot. Barlow was big blue vampire, gross looking, combination Nosferatu and what are those guys from Avatar? But nonetheless, Nabiri or something like that. But either way, and then the assistant was the one who was like, all cultured man like this. Well, Barlow's played with Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer is a very dashing Dutch actor at the time. And he comes in, and apparently Rutger Hauer knew that this production was bullshit. And he was like, this is just crap. This is a paycheck. Fuck this noise. Oh, I'm playing a vampire. I already did it once in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah. So why not do it again and just be like this? And apparently, Rutger Hauer did not take this seriously, and he came in, and there's this big moment where he's trying to convince Rob Lowe's character to like kill me. He's like this big speech, this big vampire speech, and he comes in and he delivers this soliloquy about wanting to be a cowboy. This like deep metaphorical thing. So that's what Rutger Hauer is doing on set. So Rutger Hauer's doing, and everybody is like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because it's fucking Rutger Hauer. It's literally Roy Batty. It's I've seen things you wouldn't believe. It's that guy. What do you say?
I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
So apparently, according to Rob Lowe, after a very tense discussion and some very serious phone calls. Oh, shit. Oh, man, sorry. And Mandela says, I love that jail doesn't remember the race from Avatar, and there are 5 more movies planned. Can anyone name a character name from Avatar? It's been such a long time, but I don't remember what the species are called. What the fuck is this species called? I don't know. That's going to bother me now.
I never watched. I watched Avatar when it was called Fern Gully. So
yeah, there you go. Fern Gully in space.
$1 billion Fern Gully.
So apparently on the set of this new Salem's Lot, of the TNT Salem's Lot, they had this. It was a tense negotiation like that. So eventually, Rutger Hauer was forced to shit can his little soliloquy and do the lines. The problem was he hadn't memorized the lines, because he didn't give a fuck. And so they had to hold up. They had to put his lines on cue cards next to Rob Lowe's head when they were filming it, so he could just read the lines directly to Rob Lowe. So this is what happened. This is an example of why nobody gave a fuck on this set. And this was just a paycheck. Because to be perfectly honest, TNT was I think in my personal opinion, TNT is a broadcast network that you could take advantage of. They'll just put shit out in order to gain they're kind of like, we're putting stuff out just to gain viewers. Just throw shit out there, gain viewers. Fuck it. And then the Na'vi. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the Na'vi.
Wasn't that the little thing that flies around Link and listen, hey.
No, you listen. So that was that was the kind of the very nature of this production. You could tell that nobody would really wanted to be there. It was just a job, just a paycheck. Everybody's phoning it in. Whatever. It was, and how sad is that when James Cromwell is phoning shit in? How fucking bummer is that? When Rutger Hauer, one of the greatest actors of his generation, named the greatest Dutch actor in Dutch cinema. I mean, it's just like I could be anywhere else.
Everybody in that. All the cast was. Come on. Out of everybody that we named, Rob Lowe is the worst of the actors, right?
I actually liked him in The West Wing.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that he's a bad actor; he's made bad choices in films, but he's not a terrible actor, True. And of course, there was that home movie that he made that he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that didn't help.
That didn't help his career. So bad. So bad.
But yeah, this was obviously a very overwrought film, very overdone, bloated with ego. Nobody gave a shit. It's kind of like, what the fuck ever. But this is what happens. So if anything you can take away, I think anybody can take away from this film, it is you don't need to see it. Unless you're just like this you're traumatically huge, Stephen King fan. You've got to see all of Stephen King's work. Shockingly, though, not the worst Stephen King adaptation.
No, Lawnmower Man, I would say. Without even thinking about it, Lawnmower Man is the worst Stephen King. It's so
Stephen
bad.
King, he didn't even
Stephen
want his
King
name
himself
attached.
said, "Take my fucking name off
He
that."
didn't want his name attached to it.
He paid money to get his name taken off that.
Not just, "Hey guys, take my name off there." He said, here's $10, take my name off of there. Here's $10,000, take my name off of there. Yeah,
and the thing is I like bad horror movies. I do. I enjoy B and C rated horror movies, and it's not even entertaining bad.
But they're only the B films, B horror films are only good when they are passion projects because of passion projects, right? You can feel the fact that the people in this, whereas they may not have had the budget to do like the cool special effects or whatever, they actually care about the movie. Even that stupid ass movie about the worms eating people, it was a terrible movie, but the people making it cared. They put passion into it. They wanted to make a good movie. They just didn't.
Yeah, it fell apart in other places.
Right.
And there's nothing like when you're part of a production, and I've been there and a lot of people are, you get sucked into a bad film and you know it's a bad film. Like because sometimes you'll act in something or be a part of something and you feel good about it and production goes, and then you need to cut and you're like, okay, yeah, this is it fucked up somewhere. But when it's like day one on set and then you just know it's going to be bad and it's going to be another 4 weeks of just miserable wasting your time, you don't even want to see the final product and it just beats you down.
Who was it? Was it Michael Caine that said he never saw Jaws 3?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. He's
perfect example. Yeah.
And
Anyway.
I mean, Sean Connery retired from acting after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Just completely quit. Just
so, I've had enough of this stupid shit, and I'm going home.
So apparently we have some contenders for it because of contenders for this, like The Running Man, Graveyard Shift. I'm sorry, The Running Man was not the worst because The Running Man had Arnold Schwarzenegger and he was amazing. I'm going to make.
I like Running Man. I'll be.
I do too.
I hope you save room for my fist, because I'm going to punch you into something prevent a gun or something prevent a goddamn spine or something so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
perfect. Big guys with chainsaws chasing after Arnold Schwarzenegger is amazing.
Yep.
Graveyard
Dark
Shift.
Tower.
I actually like Graveyard Shift. I do. I like Graveyard Shift.
It was interesting.
Just a good monster. It's just a good monster movie. Just there you go. Let me see. The Dark Tower was pretty fucking bad.
The Dark Tower was terrible.
Still think it's the worst. Still not the worst.
I'm telling you, Lawnmower Man was the worst. I know there are people that say, well, no, it's not really because they just use the name. It's still, the idea was to sort of adapt. So, I don't know. Have you ever read the Lawnmower Man short story?
Yes. It centers around the god Pan. And
what?
It's the pagan god Pan.
It's about this guy who likes to eat freshly cut grass.
You didn't, but it's literally.
No, I get it. I know. I understand the illusion.
Okay.
I understand what's going on. But
yeah, that's what he's leading to.
It's like 10 pages long.
It's a pagan. It's about the pagan deity. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And when you read this, and then you think, and then you go see the movie, and you think, where the fuck did virtual reality come into this?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the original, the name of the script, the original script was like Cyber God or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they should have just kept Cyber God.
That was it. It would have made more money sitting in the bin as Cyber God. I could see like Cyber God. He once was simple, now he's complex. I would watch that movie.
Yeah,
right, so
I'd be disappointed, but I'll still watch it.
I'll be like, this movie sucks. Speaking of people who phone in performances, everybody in that movie. Well, no, what's his name?
Jeff Fahey.
Jeff Fahey he actually did really good. I appreciated his performance. But Pierce Brosnan, dude, you're farting in a microphone, man. What the fuck?
Mandevil says, trivia question: what other Stephen King work does the priest Father Callahan from Salem's Lot appear in? And I caught that and I answered it. It's the seventh book in the Dark Tower series, Dark Tower number 7, which he responds then, that's a bingo. Is that how you say it? That's a bingo? You just say bingo. So.
Bingo.
You say however you want, man, devil. Don't listen to these two assholes.
That's a
say
bingo.
whatever you want. You can say that's a bingo. You can say it with an accent. You can say it without an accent. You can tell JL to go fart in the microphone. Doesn't matter. You say what you want.
CTA this motherfucker.
We've talked about this for way too long.
We have, yeah. So that being said, seeing as how this is a remake of the original Salem's Lot that came out in 78 was it?
79.
79.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah. Filmed in 78, came out 79. Which one was your favorite? The original or the remake?
I'm sorry, Man Devil put out the Lawnmower Man was just flowers for Algernon with VR. That should have been on the fucking poster. Flowers for Algernon. Flowers for Algernon with VR.
That VR sex scene was just weird.
Yeah, it was strange.
Like, that was something no one asked for.
Yeah, nobody. That's
the nobody meme. Nobody. He's like someone. Sex in VR must be interesting. Nobody. Lawnmower Man saying,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, when people are looking at the mind meld sex scene from what was that Stallone film? You know what I'm talking about? God.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Thinking, yeah, that works, and they look at your fit and go like,
no,
yeah, that.
Anyway, let us know which one you prefer, the original or the remake of Salem's Lot at weekinhorror@gmail.com or in the comment section below.
Definitely.
What do we have next, JL?
We are going to take a hard right turn back into Goodsville.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
No, this is really good. I remember watching this when I was a kid. I love the shit out of this one.
Released June 24th, 1964. We have The Masque of the Red Death. One of my favorite films from this director. But as soon as I pull it up to make sure I don't miss anything up. So directed, produced by Roger Corman, screenplay by Charles Beaumont and R. Wright Campbell, based on, obviously, The Masque of the Red Death, and Hop Frog by Edgar Allan Poe, starring, you know him, you'll love him, the legend himself, Vincent Price, Hazel Court, and Jane Asher. In a nutshell, it is with some aspects of other Poe stories put in to make it a little bit more palatable as a film. In essence, an adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Masque of the Red Death. Vincent Price plays. Sorry, 1 second. I'm having to like that. Vincent Price is in the role of Prince Prospero, who is holding the party, in which death then comes to death threatens to come in. I cannot come in, and someone will die at the end of the party. And of course, it's it's Prospero himself. I cannot express how much I love everything about this movie. I really cannot. It is one thing that was this absolutely amazing is. You got to give credit to Roger Corman and his absolutely his huge love for Poe. Corman went through this Poe phase where it was like he wanted to adapt everything Poe, and of course Vincent Price could not be a better Prospero. He was born to play characters like this.
Well, he played more than just Prospero. He played what's his name in Cask of Amontillado. He was in, what else was he in? He was in a couple other ones too. He was in the Black Cat. No, that was part of Cask of Amontillado.
Yeah, those are the two.
They put together.
I thought it was cool as shit. In this particular one, he plays Prince Prospero, who's the one throwing the party. And then, of course, and at the unmasking scene, he is death himself. I was like, that was fucking cool. Because
we'll see. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the whole thing, you get this red figure, like that. Right. You don't know who this person is. And at the unmasking scene, it's him. And it's like, they're so inspired.
Well, see, but that's the beauty part about that is that is pulled directly from source material. Now, source material doesn't say that it's Prince Prospero behind the Masque of the Red Death. Yeah. It alludes to it very much because for people who, I don't know, live under a rock and I've never read this story, it's my favorite Edgar Allan Poe story, Massacre. I read this when I was like fucking 5th grade. No, I was in like 4th grade when I first read this story. Loved the hell out of this story, but it's centered around the Black Plague, right? So you got bubonic plague that's raging through, killing everybody. So Prince Prospero brings everybody into his mansion, everybody who he thinks isn't sick, into his mansion, into his castle, into this huge ball. He's got 5 different colored rooms. He's got the red room, he's got the green room, the blue room, so on and so forth. And the red room is the way that it's lit looks like, I mean, like blood red, and it's just fucking creepy as shit. And nobody wants to party in there. Everybody else is partying in all these other rooms. But the idea was that he took all these people who he thought weren't sick, instead of 6 feet and sheltering, whatever, brings them all together and gets them all sick, and they all die. With Roger Corman saying, "Hey, look, Prospero is, he is the Mask of the Red Death," that is a beautiful way to remind people that that's what the source material was telling us.
Absolutely. This is because I read this too around, I'll say 4th or 5th grade. One of my favorite Poe stories. I always kind of saw this as maybe like a class issue, because who does he bring? He brings in the wealthy people, his friends, the people who party. They can afford to. He isolates all of them, while the lower class and the peasants and the serfs are dying outside the castle, and they're left to fend for themselves as they're starving on it. And it just showcases that no matter what, death can always come for you. Death doesn't matter on your wealth or your title or anything like that. To death, we are all the same. And that was what I've always taken from the story. And this is so beautifully done.
Yes. Man Devil 4th grade does not mean high school.
No, 4th grade
or junior high. It's elementary.
4th grade is elementary school. Yeah, here in the US.
At least here.
But that was the beauty of this one. I loved the cinematography, especially the cinematography in this. The way Corman, I think, did a total of 8 Poe adaptations in his entire in his career.
Fall of House of Usher. He did Mask of the Red Death. He did. Didn't he do a Cask of Amontillado too?
Let's see, House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, the Premature Burial, Tales of Terror, which is where they had Morella, the Black Cat, the Cask of Amontillado, the Facts of the Case of M. Valdemar, The Raven, The Haunted Palace, Mask of the Red Death, and The Tomb of Ligeia.
Yeah, he might have pick up a Poe book and said, "Let's shoot this book."
And that's what I fucking love about his. This is a beautifully crafted masterpiece, because it came from a person who loved and respected the source material as much as Corman. Corman had a love for Poe. Once he started working with it, he was like, "This is where I want to make movies." And I'm so glad that he got to do that. And unfortunately, they kind of fell out of favor a little bit later in his career, but it still, I think, is the highlight of his entire career. Like, this is like the epitome where he believed in what he was doing, everyone else believed in what he was doing, everybody loved to do, no one had really tackled doing Poe's work before like Corman did, with the technology they had at the time, the ability to shoot things, the advancements in cinematography, in photography, and lighting and sound. I mean, Corman went for broke, which is why and of course Vincent Price and the other actors that he was able to cobble together for these things. I thought they were absolutely stunning. It was almost like I almost want to say elevated Hammer horror. Whereas if you take all the things that were shocking about Hammer horror, but all of the things that elevated and made it so popular, and just brought him in with the absolute artistic style that Corman brought to it before he went off into kind of like schlock horror. So I really enjoyed what he brought to it and everything he did. This right here is an example. In fact, several of them. Not only the Fall of the House of Usher, but there is there was one I think he worked on. It was before this one. I want to make sure I get it right. So yes, Haunted Palace, that he did in 1963. Whereas he actually used, it was based on the actual H.P. Lovecraft deal, and used the title from Poe's 1839 poem. But he actually had some inspiration from Poe in that one as well. That's what inspired him, because he was like, after he got done with that one, he was like, I really want to do Mask of the Red Death afterwards as a follow-up. And I mean, this right here is like the culmination of how you do like macabre horror. This was a macabre masterpiece, in my opinion.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we had McLean. What's McLean last name? Help me out.
McLean Lindquist.
Yes. On a couple of weeks ago, talking about how he's redone Telltale Heart. I would love, hint, to do Mask of a Red Death.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
It would be one of the most fun things to do, because again, I fell in love with Edgar Allan Poe when I was, knee high to a duck. I've got so many Poe different books, and he's been a huge influence on my writing style when it comes to the unreliable narrator. So like this movie coming up, talking about it this week kind of just reignited that. So I've been like bouncing around some ideas of how that could happen. And it would be such a good one to do right now because topical horror.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with this one, what you can do is if you shoot it more artistic style, something like Suspiria, where it can be
very stylized. Yeah,
very, very stylized. So that way you're not even approaching Roger Corman's, which Roger Corman has a little bit stylized on his too.
Sure.
But you're not, but with some modern techniques on it, and then you start getting into some extreme lighting on it, you could and then some good art direction, some creative stuff, or even maybe change the time. Oh, you could have fun. Yeah, you can really have fun with this one.
Absolutely.
Man Devil. Alfred read the Poe detective stories to a young Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Returns. When the story was finished, he grabbed my arm and said, "And then the killer was brought to justice." That's hilarious. And some love for Peter Lorre in the chat there. Tony James says, "I love Peter Lorre in those classic horror films. He inspired so many tropes." He did. Peter Lorre was, I think he's coming up in the his birthday is I think it's in June. I think it's coming up this month. I have to double check because I think he's in the Daily Splatter as an in memoriam. But his work in M, absolutely stunning. Especially at the time that movie came out was just that was some chilling shit. Yeah. But yes, I think we actually ought to bring that up to McLean because adapting The Masque of Death would be kind of cool, and especially with a modern spin on it, I think that would be kind of neat. So,
fun fact about The Masque of the Red Death. This is something I found out in it was some science class. I don't know what the fuck it was, but genetically speaking, people when the Black Plague came through London, England, and whatnot, and it wiped out like just a huge amount of people, killed thousands of people. There were people that were naturally immune to the bubonic plague. And those people had contributed. Now they say that there are 10% of the world's population that are immune to the HIV virus. And they are directly associated with those who were immune to the bubonic plague.
Interesting.
Yeah. I read that shit.
That's real interesting.
Years ago. And they're talking about there's 10%. And it's because it was the people who didn't contract bubonic plague.
Yeah, because they would have households and everybody, like there's one firsthand account from the time period. And it was like an entire family was killed from it, except for like the 10-year-old daughter who was just okay and just never got sick, never showed any symptom. But obviously being in the same household, she's around that family and she was just natural immunity to it. And they didn't know why.
Yeah. So really, really cool stuff. I think if you want to go with adaptations of Poe, look no further than Roger Corman. I do want to give a serious honorable mention to McLean Lindquist, our former guest, adaptation of The Telltale Heart, because it was amazing. If you, I believe the link for that was actually, you know what? I'm just going to pull it back up.
And can you pull it back up and post it in the chat?
I'm going to post it in the chat. I'm just going to grab the link here and post it actually in the chat so people can check out one of our guests.
You could look at the last Plot Hole news episode, and that trailer's in there.
And the trailer is in there. So, but definitely check out that link there. That was one of our special guests, McLean Lindquist, directed an adaptation of The Telltale Heart, which was absolutely amazing. Really well done on that one. I like the idea of adapting The Masque of Red Death for modern times. I might have to bring that up to McLean next time I talk to him. The big thing, I want to say that definitely if you want to start somewhere, you can start with this one because Vincent Price was bar none. Typically, when you think of Vincent Price, he has a particular veneer. A lot of people today, I think, know him from Thriller just because of the popularity of Michael Jackson. They know him as the voice of Thriller, or they know him from Edward Scissorhands when he was his very last film. He was the kindly father who made Edward Scissorhands. I really
started
enjoyed
with scissor hands and not regular hands because that's a thing.
yes, dude, I don't know why you would do this. The thing that really got me in this one was it wasn't just about the fact that he was Prince Prospero. Prince Prospero was a Satanist, and the fact that he was doing what he did. It was how he interacted with everybody else. I think one of the great things about this film was it showcased the depth of Vincent Price's talent. Because sometimes in a few of his films, it's like, he's Vincent Price,
Right.
and people kind of like wanted to cash in on that one. Corman knew how to use Price in front of the camera, and I think honestly, from what I can tell, he gave Price free reign. He's like, we know what you can do. We know you can sell things like this. And we know that that's easy. But to really dig into this character and to really go that far, I think really showcased Vincent Price's why he is the legend that he is. Not just because he's the voice of Thriller. He's not just that. This dude was a fucking amazing actor.
He was like the follow-up to Bela Lugosi in horror.
Honestly. And the fact that he was like literally the best friend, the three best friends anybody could have: Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, and Christopher Lee.
Yep.
Who pretty much made 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s horror.
Film.
And I love it. And I love that he was a part of that triad. And a lot of people, they remember him for so little, but, give this dude, go back and watch his old stuff. Not just his horror films. He was an amazing fucking actor. Like, he had real depth and talent. And I sometimes it bugs me that he was like, he's just the evil laugh, at the end of it. And that's all people really remember him for.
Yeah.
No, he was good. And when he wanted to be scary, he was fucking scary.
Yeah, people were talking about how he got. Somebody said to me the other day because I was talking about this film, how they didn't like the fact that he got shoehorned into horror. I said, "What are you talking about? You're more than just fucking horror."
Definitely more. I mean, his filmography was quite varied. Just people remember him for the look, like the eyebrows and
he does have
gaunt,
that voice.
He has that look, the gaunt face and the voice and the. I mean, what you do, Peter Cushing, same thing, and Christopher Lee, that imposing visage, tall, deep voice, and what can you do? But Christopher Lee did a hell of a lot more than horror. The dude was fucking heavy metal, man. He was a heavy metal musician. He wrote poetry. He was a journalist. He did
everything.
He's the inspiration for James Bond.
Right.
Okay. He knew Ian Fleming, and Ian Fleming was like, "Wow, you're amazing, James Bond." It's actually Christopher Lee. That's who it actually was. And these are amazing characters.
He was in two of the biggest film worlds. He was in Lord of the Rings, and he was in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So
you gotta let this. Christopher Lee was legend, absolutely amazing, and of course, I think all of these guys. But Vincent Price, much love for this actor. I know that, and it's crazy because he, Peter, and Vincent were all born in the same month. Because whenever we do their in memoriams in the Daily Splatter on our social media, they're always together. At least I think the three of them were together. I know Peter Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee were together. And I think Vincent was there as well, because they all had birthdays around the same time. And I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Aww.
So it's really fucking cool. But I love these guys. And I love this fucking movie. It was one of these ones that inspired me to be a filmmaker, to see to be able to tell stories in this visual medium. And it's up there. It's definitely must for anyone who wants to be a filmmaker. This is, I think, the Corman series, the Corman Poe series is required viewing.
Agreed.
Christopher Lee and Vincent Price were born the same day, not the same year, but the same day.
Same day. Yeah. The two of them share the same birthday.
Yeah, May 27th.
That was Lee and Cushing, right?
No,
or Lee and Price. Lee and Price. Cushing was a little bit. It was a few days after him, wasn't it? After Lee.
So I'm looking at it right now. The day before.
The day before Lee.
Oh, day before.
Yeah.
2 years after. 2 years after, but the day before. 26th, May 26th, 1913. We got Peter Cushing, and then Christopher Lee. I'm sorry. May 27th, 1911 was Vincent Price, and then Christopher Lee was the 27th as well.
Three of the greatest horror actors of generation, all born around the same time, all best friends in Hammer horror. made that fucking genre. And this is one of his best performances. The way Corman handled it, the shooting the aspects, of course, when Prospero was dealing with death, the big reveal at the end, which was just amazing. And then how the interactions he captured, the nuances that Price brings to Prospero. I thought, in my opinion, if this is what Poe envisioned, that this was, when Poe was writing this, I think that this is what he had in his mind. So definitely, if you get an opportunity, if anybody in the chat who hasn't seen this, definitely check this out because it's absolutely amazing.
Irish Demon, you missed the best part of the show.
Oh, Irish Demon's in the house.
Oh, Irish Demon.
So Irish Demon, if you care to hang around at the end of the show, we will be showing the clip again. So we'll let you guys know. There won't be a big interlude, no story beforehand, but you will get to see it. But I have a CTA, the CTA for the audience tonight to ask. We did talk, obviously we showed a lot of love for The Masque of the Red Death, and it's an amazing classic horror film. And of course, Roger Corman, who so loved adapting Poe's work and did it so often, and a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft too. But what is your favorite Corman film? Because Corman didn't just do Poe. Corman did a lot of shit. And after his Poe series, after kind of like the interest in Poe died out, he went on to kind of schlock horror and stuff like that. But we still love Corman for what he produced. The shit, he's a master of horror, and we love his movie. So what is your favorite Roger Corman horror film? Let us know in the live chat. Let us know in the comments below, or hit us up at weekinhorror@gmail.com. Remember, Alex is about to have a kid. He's going to need reading material.
He's going to need lots of reading material while he's trying to be, putting the baby to sleep. He's going to have to read all these. And then one guy says J.L. Warren is an asshole who doesn't like really good movies.
Apparently. Why did something remind me of the first hate comment? I think it's a perfect moment. We got our first hate comment.
Yes, we made it. We finally made it.
We have arrived. We got our very first hate comment. And it's I guess I could read it.
Might as well.
Might as well. So let me pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick because I got it here on my phone. I had to save it because it's fucking amazing. And I mean, why wouldn't you? It's our very first one. And by the way, we are 9 away from 400 subscribers. So hopefully we will get there soon. So, but yeah, let me see this. Let me pull this notification. So boom, this comes from D Cook. I feel like I'm reading mean tweets. From D Cook.
Wait, we need the music. We're gonna do mean.
No, right. D Cook says 4 dumb fucks who never made a movie in their lives try to pretend to be experts. It's a question. 23 thumbs is all we have. 23 thumbs is all we need to know. They have 23 cousins between them. Waste of time. So,
you know what? I've got at least 23 cousins just on my father's side.
I got like 6 on one side and like 3 on the other one. So, but think about that. I know Gavlar's over there. Screw that guy. What the fuck does he know? It's like, goddamn right. What the fuck does he know? Yeah. And Grave Paradise is like, what the fuck is like? I bring this up because, like Johnny said, I think it heralds that we arrived.
Yep.
Yeah. There's someone out there who watched our stuff and was like, fuck these guys. What did they know?
Right. So think about this. Right? We pissed somebody off so bad that they had to take time out of their day to let us know how much they're pissed off.
Multiple lines, and he went back and edited it. There's an edited deal on YouTube. So he was like, he wrote it, and he was like, that's not good enough.
Not good enough.
Changing it.
Add the 23 cousins part. Do that.
Because there's only 23 lights on it. So put it there. Obviously, they control all the lights. It's like, give me a fucking break, dude.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of horror nerds talking about fucking horror movies.
Yeah.
We met, but here's the funny thing. We actually do make movies. That's what we fucking do. Like, we just showed a clip from one.
Proof is in the can, bitches.
I mean, it's in the can, motherfucker. So,
you can't watch it.
I found that to be absolutely hilarious that we got our first legitimate hate comment on Week in Horror, and I find that to be amazing. So I actually took a picture of it. I saved it on my phone. So I can always look back and go like, D, I remember when you hated us, and now we're fucking making movies. So you know what? Fuck yourself. We do.
JL's gonna like paint that in like script, like the live, laugh, love. That's gonna be the font that he's gonna have that painted on the wall.
I'm gonna embroider that shit on a fucking throw pillow. I'm gonna have it in the Week in Horror studio. Be like, Boom. Oh, Tawny A, thank you so much. Tawny A just popped in, says, I just found you and subbed. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Stick around, Tanya, because you're about to find out what your subscription helps accomplish. So
yes, Grave Paradise says haters gonna hate. They are. That's all they are. They are peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter
jelly, peanut butter time. Yeah.
Or peanut butter
jelly time.
I tried to steal that from. I tried to steal that from the interview. They are peanut butter and jealous. Peanut butter and jealous. That is what they are. They hate us because they ain't us.
Ain't us.
Yep.
They hate us because they ain't us. What is it? No, they hate us because they ain't us. Gavlar, the Hand of Zod, says, when you give someone a hate boner, you know you've arrived.
That's never true.
If I find out I gave this dude just like, you gave me a hate boner, I'm done. I'm just that's it. I can't do any better than that. That's it. That's all I've got.
That's the most extreme hatred.
That's the most extreme hatred. Oh, I'm so mad. Let me see here. Someone said, Mandel says, make a cross stitch of that hate post and then hang it on the wall behind Weekend Horror. I just might get maybe if we get one of my grandmothers to do it. Just the little pretty with the flowers and it's like in the circle thing.
And, the little butterflies and the daisies.
What does dumb fuck mean?
Shit, your granny knows what dumb fuck means. Your granny was there when dumb fuck was invented.
Tony
my grandmother used to do that shit all the time. She used to pretend like she was this, really, and she was the sweetest woman, but she didn't know that I knew the curse words in Spanish.
Oh,
she didn't know that I knew that. I was like, yeah, Granny, you're real nice, huh?
Chingo.
Tony A, because Tony A just asked, got any good horror movies? Check out our Discord. We do have horror movie recommendations.
We do,
and you can actually. And a bunch of other stuff. We do live streams there also, so you can check out
the watch parties.
Parties. Yeah.
No, you're right. No, you're good. That's where
I do my best. I do my best to show as many watch parties as I can. I know people absolutely love them, especially those people in the States that are still stuck indoors. People still furloughed from work and everything. So I try to put up as many watch parties as I can. I have a huge, massive library, both digital and in actual physical media. So I hope to share them. I like to share them all with everybody. I love watching horror movies with friends. And it's on our Discord channel. The link for the Discord is in the description. So you can actually look in the description of this live stream and you can grab that and join our Discord community. As I said, trailers and recommendations. We put for all the movies we talk about, we put the trailers up in Discord. And not to mention, other people have thrown up trailers as well for films that they love. So you can always find good recommendations there. We know that the pickings out there are a little bit slim of recent days. It's kind of hit or miss as to what, a lot of good indie ones are. So a lot of good indie horror, but, mainstream horror hitting the theaters, not a lot. Which is why that's a good segue to go into our final film for the night.
Oh, yes.
What do we got?
All right. So a very, very recent film. It was released June 26, 2019, and it's Annabelle Comes Home. And it was directed by Gary Daberman, and it stars McKenna Grace, Madison Eisman, Katie Sarfi, Vera, I can never pronounce her last name.
Vera
Farmiga, and Patrick Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously, this film takes place in the Conjuring universe. They have the Annabelle doll that's locked away so that it can't do any harm. And then, all of a sudden, some creepy stuff starts happening, and the doll gets out and starts terrorizing everybody. And shit gets real.
It absolutely does. But not as well as the previous Annabelle films.
It gets like half real. It's like half real.
I feel like they really missed the mark on the whole Annabelle series, just all of them, because here you have like one of the in this whole universe, right? You've got this doll. And people make comments about it here and there before they actually get to the Annabelle. Like they build it up and build it up and build it up, and then all right, we got this Annabelle doll. And what does this Annabelle doll do? Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. Doesn't do a fucking thing.
It just pops out like surprise.
Yeah, it's
Surprise!
it's in a rocking chair. Okay. Ooh. Fuck.
So, Stephen King, you got a new adaptation for us? Yeah. Ooh. It's a fucking doll, man.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want to see it with the original, I guess, quote unquote, Annabelle doll, the little fun doll.
The Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, the Raggedy
Doll.
I want to see that one. I want to see a Raggedy Ann.
Honestly, that fucking doll is creepier than because the one in the movie is trying to be creepy. What fucking child would play with that goddamn thing? Are you out of your mind?
Who in the right mind would say, "Hey, I'm going to make a China doll that looks like it wants to murder you"? Now, granted, hang on a second. Yes, I was just about to say that, Tony.
Yes,
yeah, to it, but yeah, I was going to say when the clown in Poltergeist is much more frightening than this doll that. Like I said, they made this doll to be scary, and it's not. It's not scary. It's a stupid little porcelain doll. You fucking chuck it out the goddamn window, and you're done with it.
Yeah, end of film.
Done.
I never got that. What is with these movies? Because there's one similar one where they adapted about Robert the doll. Robert the doll is a doll in Florida that's under lock and key that has a whole legend that goes behind it. You know, Robert will curse you and blah blah blah. You look at the fucking thing. Okay, and they made a movie about it. That one in the movie is so fucking stupid looking. It's deliberately got giant fucking eyes. And it's a grotesque face. It's like, why would anyone make this thing? That's not why you make dolls. It's so fucking pointless. The one in Florida, the actual Robert the doll, that thing's creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
and it's a little doll in a sailor suit.
Right. You look at was it The Boy with Lauren Cohen? Right. That looks like a doll that somebody would actually make.
That would actually make. That would put it in a collection.
And it's fucking creepy as shit.
Creepy. Well, so I was going to say, porcelain. You don't have to go out of your way to make porcelain dolls creepy. They just are. Yeah. My wife has this fucking ancient porcelain doll that her great grandmother has passed down. I'm thinking this thing is going to fucking kill us in the middle of the night. Okay.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna have to find this doll and show it to you, but I said no. We need to put it under some. I don't put it someplace where it can't get to us. Put stuff on top of it. We said get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it. My grandmother gave it to me. I don't care.
No, because even if you look
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. Breaking news: we have a new patron.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Tawny A, who is a new fanatic member of our patron family.
Awesome,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Tawny. Yeah, we really appreciate that. Oh man, that is awesome. Thank you, Tawny, and I hope to see you at the watch parties we have on Discord very very soon. I will bust some things out, and we'll get our scare on. And I will show anything. I think the last movie I showed there was Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which was an awesome trip. But before that,
love that movie.
Before that, we binged the entire Resident Evil franchise, like the whole thing. So we do cool stuff like this. Mandevil says, "I want to see the boy Annabelle Chucky sandwich." Oh shit, my filter is like a chain link fence in a year of self-isolation.
Some people pay good money for that.
Oh my god, you put it out. It's Rule 34.
Yeah, just imagine. Yeah, right. I was going to say, just imagine you walk in and that's happening.
I think I downloaded the wrong Annabelle film.
Or did I?
Or did I?
Did I?
At least Annabelle is. Oh, nope. Sorry. Nope,
okay.
Nope.
Now, Tony Regime has right there the other scary doll. The other scary doll was the ventriloquist dummy in Magic with Anthony Hopkins.
The scariest ventriloquist doll was in a German film called Joey. It had a second title. I can't remember what it was. Making Contact.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
You have got the movie itself, but the fucking it looks like no bullshit. It looks like fucking what's his name who lives like down the street from me, that televangelist priest. What's his name? Kenneth Copeland.
Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah,
that sounds creepy.
Yeah, and then it comes into it. Annabelle Comes Home. obviously the weakest of the Annabelles. The scares are already done there. We've had 2 films before this, and with a good amount of time to it. So the first Annabelle was creepy. They did the things did all this scary. Then a couple years later, they do the exact same thing. Tell a little bit different of a story. I think it was Annabelle Creation. It was the prequel of how the doll was made, and then carrying on from there. Then Annabelle Comes Home. And it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Gavel on the Hand of Zod. Possum was fucking freaky as shit. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you haven't seen that one, that one's freaky as shit. Possum was that was dark and weird. But yeah, it also a puppet movie. But in this particular one, it didn't resonate. And I started asking, why is the Conjuring universe it's still chugging along under some steam? I don't know what it is, because we just got the 8th film in the Conjuring universe, which is Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, which is opening up to, unfortunately, lackluster reviews as well. I saw Eugene making the international symbol of movie making when I was talking about this, and it's dollar bills, y'all.
Well, I mean, take a look at it. This is a Leo Whannell creation, yes.
Yeah.
He's got another creation that's still making movies.
Oh, Saw.
Yeah.
But here's what's wild.
That guy writes 2 films, and he's set for fucking life.
Yeah. We streamed Spiral on Discord, and Spiral was amazing. I mean, it's a Saw story. But being what it is, being what it is, it's way fucking better than it had. I think it had any right to be. The performances were solid. The traps were really good. I mean, I was like, holy shit. It's far superior to the last 3 Saw films that came out.
That's not a high bar, though.
That really isn't a high bar.
You
can quite literally take 2 through Jigsaw and fucking toss them out because they're garbage.
You could.
No, the original Saw was fucking amazing, but especially when it came out, it was it was done so well. There was real passion there. There was real planning. They filmed the whole thing in 18 days. 18 days, start to finish, film that thing. Had a great fucking cast. I dug really deep into that one because when I first watched, I was like, man, this is the first good horror film I have seen in forever.
Yeah.
And I went and really looked through it and saw that, everything was filmed in one location, right? All that movie was in one location. Everything about it just worked so well. Reading the story, watching the proof of concept that they did where Lee Whannell was playing, what's her name's character? Shawnee Smith's character. He was the one being interrogated. Watching the whole thing, how they put it together and how they got greenlit and brought over. The whole story about that first movie was like, man, this is great. The gore was done right. Like you never saw all of the gore. You know what I mean? Like when
it left a lot to the imagination.
Yeah,
which is the best.
Didn't have to show it.
Exactly. That's the best way to do that psychological twist there to make you fill in the gaps, make you fill in the blanks. And it was done. And then they just said, hey, how about we just, fucking dump as much buckets of blood as we can in this series. And it was like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, Mandeville says, I just put his comment up there, horror series that can bring out a movie a year are always going to pull in the bucks. And that's what, Saw eventually became was, if it's Halloween, it must be Saw was because we could drop one every October and we're good to go. Mm-hmm. And it was, pretty convoluted and silly there, down there towards the end. Honestly, I mean, I understand the concept of it but you can feel with, especially now, Ivy Gentry says, I have to admit, I actually like Conjuring 3 and people did like it. People thought, it was decent. I honestly think it's a combination of things. One, some franchises, I mean, you can just keep stacking into them. There's more that goes into the Conjuring universe. They have lots of stuff planned. I know The Nun is about to get a sequel, and they're going to add more stuff to it.
Talk about another one that was a fucking stupid discipline. What did the nun do? The nun was way over here. Now all of a sudden she's here. Oh my God, it's so scary.
I saw that in the ring.
Yeah, right.
But what's really happening, the big thing, we actually talked about this previously, was about, crossing the ethical line in these types of films. I think because I think it actually kind of shot itself in its own foot, because what happened here was we had the Warrens and the Ed and Lorraine Warren, demonologists, Catholics, whatever like this, and they did their work, they did their thing, like they kind of got a name for themselves in that community. But all of a sudden, these movies come out, and people are suddenly very, very aware. So this is a very big, and they start making money. So there's a very big spotlight suddenly on the legacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Uh-oh. One of us lost. I think I just lost my internet. Nope, not me.
No, I'm still here.
So it's that Oklahoma internet.
Oh, we lost that Oklahoma internet.
We lost the Oklahoma internet. JL Warren will be back shortly, I'm sure.
Yep,
but
exactly.
Frozen in time. Look at him. Look at that face. Now, I will say that Sarcasm has figured this out. He says, whenever there's a fairly shit movie to actually review, you guys always seem to end up discussing something far better.
Well, yeah, because you can only talk about a shitty movie for so long. Yeah. But I learned recently about it. The little boy in the new Conjuring that came out is actually from Dallas.
Really?
And yeah, he was from Dallas, and he also was on WandaVision. And
that's cool.
So, I mean, he's like 9 years old, and now he's just blown up and all this other kind of stuff and making giant, like, Hollywood films. But yeah, he started off doing student films in Dallas, which I just thought was really cool.
That's pretty cool. So one of the talking points we have in our breakdown is how this is supposedly one of the weakest of the Annabelle films, which is saying a lot because I personally think the Annabelle films are just bad. I mean, they just miss out so much on the potential of having a creepy doll. The doll does literally nothing.
It does. It doesn't do anything. It's the dead are able to hear you, and they come with like coin eyes and all. It's like whatever. It's been fucking done.
Yes, right.
It has, and it's been done better. If you want to talk about the dead beaking in, Insidious is a far better film than any of the Annabelles, at any point on it.
Right.
And it just feels like just a constant rehash.
And yeah, for me, if you have a story about a creepy doll and you don't make it about the creepy doll, you just fucked up. You already fucked up. You can't just say, hey, this is a movie about the creepy doll. The creepy doll's in there, but it's not really whatever. It's just there. Just kind of there in the background to make you think, oh, creepiness. No. It doesn't even crawl on the floor. Fuck.
No. Let's show the creepy doll move. Show it move in like an uncanny way or something like that. Because even the clown and Poltergeist, you can see it's like moving and his arms coming out and stuff. And I mean, it's just jump scare.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can punt the doll. I can just punt it out of the window.
Exactly. At least I felt the same way about Child's Play and Chucky, right? It's like, fuck that little thing. What is he going to do? I'm going to fucking take him and, kick a field goal with a little piece of shit. But Brad Dourif was funny.
Yeah, because with Child's Play.
And he fucking moved.
Yeah, he moved. And with Child's Play is not supposed to be 100% scary. There's some funny moments in it. It's supposed to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek horror film. And even Chucky looks scarier because at least the original Chucky looks like a doll that people can play with.
Right.
Yeah, not the remake Chucky that came out, I think, last year before. No, fuck that doll.
That's weird. That whole movie was bad. It was just not good.
It was. They try, and the whole AI thing was just
that's another one of those retcon ideas. They had a script about dangerous AI, and they said, hey, we need to attach something to this that's going to make this a hit. Oh, I know, Chucky. That's what they did. We'll call it Child's Play. So yeah, the doll does exactly what it does in real life: creep people out until they start imagining weird stuff happening. Yeah, that's true. Sarcasm. I just wish the doll did more.
Yeah, like I want to. Yeah, I want to see the doll like drive a car into somebody or
something.
Yeah, just something.
Fuck, throw marbles on the ground for people to fucking do the slip and fall shit. Fucking hell,
something. If I can watch Puppet Master and actually watch the puppets kill people with leeches and drills and stuff like that, Annabelle can do something.
Yes. Tie people's shoes together. Fuck, something.
Definitely something. So, well,
Jeez.
all right. I guess it's time for the CTA on that.
Yep.
Yeah, JL will be back at some point. It feels a lot like last week now.
It does.
Yeah.
That was our plan all along to get rid of the dead weight.
Yeah, he'll pop back in at the end at some point when it's too late.
Yep.
But actually, I want to ask the audience, we talked about the Conjuring universe. What is your favorite entry in the Conjuring universe? We talked about the Conjuring and Annabelle and the Nun and a bunch of others. Let us know, what is your favorite Conjuring entry in the comment below, in the chat, or email us at weekinhorror@gmail.com.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it takes us to our fun trivia question. We're going to give JL just a couple seconds here. He says that he's working on trying to get back in now. Yep. So he says, sorry, 1 second. Working on it. All right. You've had your second. Don't worry. The best part of the show, we'll take care of it, JL. You can hear him frantically. Fuck you, Johnny.
Damn it, fucking Oklahoma internet. It's first time in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the cow-powered internet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yep. All right, here we go. So everybody get your Google food ready. Get your Googles ready. Some of you may just know this. Everybody ready? Everybody ready?
Okay. Yeah. Favorite part. Which I think the prize is going to be another T-shirt or coffee mug.
It's going to be
I'm not 100% sure.
I think JL said it was going to be the new special edition T-shirt. So, which is really
special
cool.
edition T-shirt.
Yes, guys, when you get these shirts, put them on and take a picture and send it to us. We like to see that stuff. It's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so
we can post that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Anyway, here we go. Which film is canonically the first in the Conjuring universe? So, which is the first film in the timeline of the Conjuring universe?
The first one you're able to Google, or if you just know it, the first one that's
slapping in there.
Yeah, the first one in the chat that answers the question gets the T-shirt.
Yep. You can do it.
We have a wrong answer. Sorry, Sir Chasm. It is not Annabelle.
Galvar, the Hand of Zod. Boom.
Got it.
With the Nun. That is correct.
That is correct.
Yep. The Nun. Tony Regime, you were almost there. Just so close. So close. All right. That's fun, man. JL, you know what? Well, and we can't show the clip without JL here because he's the one who's got the controls. So
oh yeah, he does have the controls on it. We're trying to show the clip one last time.
Yep.
So we may have to give him a minute.
We're gonna give him a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, I know some people missed it. For the new people, who joined in since then. Let's see. He said my internet completely shit the bed.
Yep. So what happens when you're in Oklahoma?
Oh, he says 1 second. And so once we were able to get JL back in, basically for those who've missed the very beginning of it, we are in the process of remaking Gun Massacre, the 1985 slasher film.
Yeah.
And I directed a 10-minute proof of concept that we're looking to sell for a competition. The winner gets a pitch session in LA. I was the one that directed it. JL was the one that wrote it. And Johnny O graces the film with his presence. Also, he is in it.
I bring it down a notch or two, but whatever. I think the other players they make up for what damage I've caused.
No, your mean mug looks great though. Just you throwing somebody, it's awesome.
So funny story. Without getting too much into what happened during I thought you should have recorded the rehearsal of that because. So I've got Art and the other guys. We're waiting for our cue to go right for rehearsal, and you call action, and I think I'm going % because I don't want to hurt anyone. So I've got Art by the shoulder and by the back of his pants, and I think I'm 50% whatever, and I throw him, and then you call cut, and all right, we're gonna do it for real this time, and he comes back and he's all, Johnny, yeah,
Well,
so
crap, that sucked.
Shut up, JL.
We're telling a story.
Tell a story. Fuck. Next time, this is a rehearsal. So if we could, take it down to about 50% this time. Yeah, I said, Art. It was 50%. He goes, okay, yeah. So let's take it down to about 10%.
I'm totally at a loss. I have no idea what story you're telling.
This was the part where Art was complimenting me in my strength. We'll just say that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yes, when you were throwing, doing that thing. I apologize to the audience out there. Apparently, my internet just absolutely shit the bed for some reason. I have no idea why. Tony A says my internet is having a hard time staying on because of the heat outside. Now it's possible. I have no idea. It apparently is working now. That was absolutely fucking weird. It just zonked out, and I was afraid that we lost the entire stream. But we're good to go.
We were good. We held it down. We've already given away the prize. Now we're just waiting to.
Who was our winner? Who was our winner of?
Gavlar, the Hand of Zod.
Gavlar, the Hand of Zod wins a limited edition shirt. Fantastic. Yep. Gavlar, I've got your shipping information. I will get your shirt to you ASAP. Actually, I think he's won enough. I have saved automatically. I'll just choose your profile and automatically send it to you. It's pretty amazing.
110 in Arizona. It was 99 in Texas today. Yeah.
All right. So, so before we close this out, for those, let's see, we got 21 viewers in here. Let me ask the chat real quick. Let us know. Do you guys want to see the clip again?
Of course. I don't think Tanny.
Yeah, there's a couple people who
That's right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, let me put out a quick deal real quick on because I'm able to address all of our patrons. Showing the clip again if you'd like to see it. And stream dies. So whenever I do that,
show the clip. Show
the clip.
Yeah, they're always saying, I do. Yes, show the clip.
All right, let me pull this up. Video file. There we go. Boom. So yeah, I'm getting good at this one. I don't think we need to. Do we need to go full? Should we go full screen on this one again?
Yeah, go full screen.
Going full screen. Okay, so here we go. So with no further ado, our second showing of the clip. These are from Gun Massacre, the remake. It's not the actual title of it.
What do you want, man? Who the fuck is that? Oh, what the fuck?
Is the clip lagging?
That clip is lagging. There's something going on with my internet.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, yep, it froze.
Yep.
God dang it.
Well, just rewind it. Rewind this episode into.
Well, I tried.
Not you. Not you. Talking to the audience. Okay. It's earlier in the episode. It plays with no lag. So.
Sorry about that. I will try to show that again, but there's something going on with my internet. I got to figure it out once we get done with the stream. At least it's it's still streaming and we're still live, so we'll figure that out. Man Devil's is kind of scarier without the visuals, just the audio.
Kind of is,
Yeah.
Like if there was somebody in a closet in that scene listening to that shit, knowing that they're next, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'd be freaky.
Oh yeah.
So dang, I'm sorry, I was wanting to show it again, but yes, if you go back in the stream itself, you rewind back towards the beginning of the show.
5 minutes in, I think.
I think
so. Yeah, it's like
20,
25 minutes in. You can view
it there. You can view it there. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So thank you once again. A huge thank you to all of our patrons, to all of our listeners, to all of our supporters, everyone who's ever gotten anything off Teespring, everything ever liked, shared, hit the sub button, whatever. We couldn't have done this without you. So thank you all so much. We love you guys so much. And it'd be helpful if I was looking at my fucking script. Congratulations to Gavlar Hand of Zod for winning the limited edition the third limited edition shirt from Week in Horror, featuring our made-up band, the Kink Shaming Cannibals. So I fucking love this shirt. It's the best. Tony, I'm gonna try. Things are a little bit tight at the moment. Obviously, move and stuff. So I'm gonna do my best. But if it's not tonight, then definitely I'll probably be able to stream tomorrow. So we'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, so holy shit, I'm totally off because losing my internet fucked me up. But that's going to bring another episode of Week in Horror to a close. I feel so forced. It feels so forced. Let me try this again, and then we'll just fix it in post. And that brings another episode of Week in Horror to a close. Thank you all so much for listening, and we truly hope that you enjoyed the show despite all the cock-ups. Join us next week when special guest actor and director Kyle Hester joins us to discuss Leprechaun 3, Psycho 3, Deliver Us from Evil, and Relic. Not the one with the monsters, the one with the supernatural chicks. We'd like to send a special shout out to our amazing patrons who have helped us make the show the success that it has become. To our newest patron, Tani A, thank you so much. And of course, our other patrons, Rabscuttle, Surf, Glass Monster, James Jones, Alien X Gaming, Jeff Roberts, Dark Steve, Commander Darklight, Sarcasm, Crafty Keela, Anthony Purcell, Gavlar the Hand of Zod, Mike Barrett, N.A., Kyrie, Alexis S., and Jose Alalde. We could not do this without your support. Thank you so much. And, of course, visit us at weekinhorror.net, where you can find links to all of our episodes, our bios, our merch store at Teespring, and, of course, enter your email for permanent entry to win a mystery horror shirt every single month, courtesy of $6shirts.com. For more entertainment, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Holy shit, we're on Instagram. Followers get our daily splatter, a bit of horror info every single day right to your feed. You never know what new horrors you may discover. Subscribe to our channel, smash that bell like a zombie head for all the latest updates from the show. We really hope you enjoy the new live format, and we'd love to get your feedback. Be sure to leave us a comment below, as the interactions really help us with the dreaded algorithm. And lastly, if you truly love what we do here and you would like and are able to support our production, you can through our Patreon. We have subscriber tiers as low as $1 a month, bonus and exclusive content, and horror films every month for our higher tiers. However, if you prefer, you can support the show through our PayPal as well. All links are down below. Links to everything, including the Discord community, where you can find film recommendations, trailers, trivia games, horror watch parties, and even interact with us directly. Who would want to? You might want to, but we are there. All those links are down below in the description. And while the country is finally beginning to recover from recent events, we know that things are still really, really tight for a lot of people. And we love that you came out and joined us tonight. We love that you come out and enjoy the show. As always, simply commenting, liking, and sharing this with all of your friends and your local horror community is the absolute best way to continue to help us to grow. Now, we appreciate each and every single one of you for being the greatest audience that a podcast like ours could ever have. We love you all so much. I am JL.
And I'm Eugene.
I'm Johnny O.
We will see all of you next week. And as always, stay scared. It's not set up.